welcome back to another Wolf River Electric podcast. My name is Jake Pintz, and I'm here today with Dylan Haddeland, the Vice President of Wolf River Construction. Dylan, how you doing today, man?
Good, bro. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Nice little rainy morning today. Not good for any of our crews, but
Definitely not.
We needed it, as people like to say. To start us off, man, just tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of how you became part of the Wolf River Electric team.
Cool. So, long story actually. So I, grew up in St. Paul, grew up around here. My faith is a big part of my life, my story and everything. And I actually met Justin, Vlad, and Luca through my church maybe like 7 years ago. And we actually ended up serving at the homeless shelter every Saturday night for maybe like 5 years, me and Justin and his wife together. We've obviously hung out and done things together and talked as like their company grew and everything. And, I was really always trying to get them to get into roofing because I saw the benefit of it. And I felt like, with their drive and everything, they could be really successful with it.
Right.
So I met with them maybe like 3 years ago and pitched them the whole idea of roofing and construction. They liked the idea, but I don't think they were in the right place to focus on it right now because solar was growing so much. And this beginning of this year, I was starting with another company that I had been with, and Justin had asked me to come out and train some of his site surveyors to do roof inspections. So me, Justin, and another guy went out to like 3 jobs. Sold the homeowners on the spot, did the inspection, and then after our day together, Justin and Vlad called me and said, we really need someone that knows as much as you here, so we would love it if you'd come work with us. And I obviously would love the opportunity to come work with them too. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. And it's pretty cool the way it started out too, starting off with, giving back to the community and dealing with faith, because I know that's a big part of, Justin, Vlad, and Luca's lives as well as my own too. And I think that's a driving force in the success of this company. So that's an awesome way to, introduce a whole new realm into the company, and have you come aboard. And that's great. And that's awesome to hear, man. And you've been here for 6 to 8 months, right?
Yeah, probably about 6.
6 months. And you've done a lot in those 6 months.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of really exploded in the realm of construction and roofing. Can you shed a little bit or share a little bit of that success with us that you've seen in the short time you've been here?
Yeah, I think, honestly, I think the biggest thing was me and Justin getting together and going out and meeting people, recruiting people that I knew through my connections in the industry, and just getting people really excited, really about what we were excited about. And it was really infectious, and it allowed us to bring people. I mean, really, people could feel it, and they wanted to come on board. And then when they were here, they kept that excitement. So luckily, we've had some really great people come through the doors with a lot of experience, and we've been really blessed to be pretty successful in our first couple months.
Beautiful. I mean, that's all it is connections, right?
Yeah.
Bringing in people that you've met in the past experiences that you've had personally. And that's a big attribute to, widening out, what we're trying to do here and seeing success in different realms. Those connections are key. And you have a lot of them. You're a pretty well-rounded guy, man. I've been working next to Dylan for, the 6 months he's been here. The guy knows people, and he's truly brought that into the Wolf River team here, along with his own past experiences. I mean, everything about roofing. This guy knows more than I ever would imagine, in the world of roofs. So that's why I think he sees so much success as a leader out there. And it's really awesome to see, dude. Lots going on in the 6 months you've been here, and it's crazy. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So we talked about success in the short time you've been here, which there's been a lot of it. What are some of the challenges that you have seen in this realm and in the time that you've been here?
Challenges, a solar company primarily trying to do roofing. There are a number of things that come up that we don't think about, like DNR approvals with insurance companies are a really big issue we've been having. It's an interesting thing because in solar we have such a large market share that we should be able to sort of influence the pricing in the market.
Right.
So we're just trying to work on that right now. I feel like that's a really big issue. But it's just something that comes with when you're entering new territory. There's going to be a bunch of things that come up, and luckily there's really good communication top to bottom, and we're really good at problem solving, love problem solving. So it's when we have issues, it's like exciting because we know what we can attack. So that's just kind of how I'm looking at it.
No, that's great, and that's a good mindset too. I mean, getting over those barriers is awesome because getting tested each week keeps you on your toes, and it also just gives you more exposure of the different types of issues that you can see in the future and just how to be proactive and beat it before it even gets there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I'm with you when it comes to issues and, challenges you got to face each week. It is a battle, but it's really it's good for everything, because you eventually do make it over that hump and you learn from it.
Yep.
The companies that don't work out are the people that don't, or the companies that don't learn from their mistakes or learn from previous difficulties and battles. But if you can do that, hold it in, and infuse it with your weekly schedule and, just carry everything forward, that's where you'll start seeing things get better and better. You know what I mean? And then, communication you brought up, obviously a huge factor. I try and preach over communication all the time. Sometimes just communication isn't enough. It's those small details you got to over relay that will start to be, part of the program, and make everything go smoothly.
For sure.
I also forgot to mention, I got on the Wolf River Construction shirt on today.
Looks
that you
good,
got
dude.
me. So
Looks really good.
This thing is great, man. Yeah, I think the storms mess with our sign a little bit, but it is what it is. So there's a lot of work that goes into what you're doing, right? Especially with it being a whole new part of the company. There's a lot of humps you got to get over to make this thing successful, which you already have in the short amount of time that you've been here. What does it take, personally, for you to run a division like this?
Personally, it takes a lot of support. If I didn't have my two main managers over sales and production, I'd be unable to do anything near what we're doing right now.
Right.
It's really awesome when you can have leaders that take initiative and they're creative and they're not afraid to try to speak up. Like they feel like the environment promotes communication, like you were just talking about, and I feel like that's crucial. And I honestly, it all goes to them because obviously one person can't do everything by themselves,
right?
And they bring an extra level of experience as well. They're both very experienced, so they tell me things sometimes, and I really just got to give it all to them.
Teamwork makes the dream work, man.
Yeah.
You do got a good team with you.
Yeah.
You really do. And it's awesome to see because it's working. You don't see success that quickly. 6 months in the grand scheme of things is a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
I mean, with how busy we constantly are, that 6 months goes by quick. But I mean, how many jobs have you guys done this year so far?
So we built 30
jobs.
30, yep.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. And you guys have converted some solar guys or solar site surveyors or solar salespeople over to your team as well. And it's amazing because that's something that, they're a little tentative about,
Yeah.
But they're seeing success as well. And I think they're taking that in with open arms. Have you seen that as well?
Yeah, I have. Actually, it's really cool because, Cody came over. It's cool because he used to be a project manager and we used to be up in the Isani office. And so all of his friends, his roommate is there. And they could all see the success that he was having. And it's just really exciting to see somebody that's young and knows that they want to make a difference in their life, doesn't know how to do it, but is willing to trust people who have done it before and take those scary steps.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Because it's definitely different, especially for those young guys looking for that career, looking for that, success, looking for something that they want to spend their life doing. And I can tell that, everybody I've came across that's within Wolf River Construction, working with this new way of, roofing and construction, I can see the happiness in their eyes, and I can see the eagerness in their eyes, and it all stems down from the top to bottom, you're doing a great job. Your other managers are doing a great job. You guys are, are, teaching them. You guys are running them through things slowly. And I think that's huge because, top to bottom, if we can't, or if you guys can't handle it up here, same thing with the solar realm, it's trickle down theory, management has to be at the top of their game. And I think that's why you do see the success that you are.
Yeah. And I mean, that just brings it back to, following Justin and Vlad and Luca's lead.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Right, totally right, top to bottom. And I definitely take their lead for sure. You know what I mean? So just as my managers do with me, I feel confident that they can do that because I can do that where I'm at,
No, those guys know how to take an idea and just drive and run with it and just turn it into something special.
Yeah.
Working here for the last 4 years, it's amazing to see. They might take this ideology or this idea that seems almost impossible to obtain, and they make it happen. And it's great working for them. It's the leadership that a successful company needs, especially one that's branching out from solar to construction to whatever future venues that they have in mind. I mean, we got that new warehouse getting put up in Isani, brand new headquarters. It's going to be 4 times the size that we have seen now, larger office space, larger warehouse for both construction and solar. And that's really exciting as well. You're really starting to see the fruits of Wolf River's labor turn into this amazing thing, being one of the biggest residential solar companies in the Midwest and slowly becoming one of the biggest roofing companies.
Yeah.
So it truly is an amazing thing. So talking about the future a little bit here, where do you see Wolf River Construction in the roofing division in the next 1 to 2 years?
In the next 1 to 2 years, the growth pace has been crazy. I want to keep it up, so I don't want to slow down. I want to hit double digits in the millions next year. It is really exciting because I feel like the precedent that we're setting right now, we go a lot of places, do a lot of things that a lot of contractors traditionally aren't comfortable doing, remodels, windows, gutters. We have a gutter crew. We're just same thing as Justin. Going back to taking Justin, Luca, and Vlad's lead. If they see a problem, they figure out a solution. It doesn't matter what it takes to get there. They do it. And with the situation that we're in right now, with us being roofing is saturated. It's a industry that's been around since like the mid '90s. So there's a lot of establishment in roofing and construction. And so, trying to find an edge in some of those bigger, more established companies, but I've been at some of those bigger, more established companies, and I know, where they're not trying to grow, and that's exactly where we will try to grow.
Where we're excelling.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, that's the crazy part, it's, I started with roofing, and in 6 months it's gone to siding, windows, egress, all that stuff, gutters, and it's all sustainable.
Yeah.
And it has been doable, and with the crews that we got and the experience that we got, it's working. Mm-hmm. But that's like I was talking about. It seems like, okay, well, let's just stick with roofing. Well, no, because we got people here, good leadership here that has experience that can easily kind of saturate over the whole market, in the world of construction. And a lot has been done with that in the last 6 months.
Yeah, it's crazy. Man. I'm really proud of I just want to give a shout out to my production manager right now. He's got 6 roof builds and a siding job this week on the board. So,
Amen.
Pretty big week, for him. Yeah, the rain's probably not helping.
No, the rain is not helping. It's not helping anything. Solar construction or our poor little sign back here. Yeah. But Dylan, that's all we really had today. But I really want to thank you for coming in on the podcast today and joining us. You're doing a fantastic job. The success you're producing is fantastic, and that your team is producing is fantastic, man. It's really, really fantastic to see and to see this thing grow into the future. Yeah. Thank you for joining us again, Dylan. Thank you for having us on. Logan, thank you for taking care of all the production. We'll see you guys on another episode.